Do, 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 do. You know what that is?
The letter M.
It's the Mark Gurman signal. We need a hero in these trying times. Is there any Mark Gurman news that will help us today?
That was pretty good.
Thank you.
That's a really
Thank you
good
very much.
bit.
I'll keep it
I
if you
can't
want.
even-
If every time we need him, do you think he'll like come if we show it? Mark, you're needed. If we do this,
We got Andru Edwards here. It's the 200th episode of Genius Bar. There's a lot happening today.
Hang on.
The people spoke.
They did.
guys
They
listen.
actually did. Unironically. This is what we did last week. We said we need a Drew signal.
There it is. There it is. I don't know if
Asking
you're
you shall
gonna like it.
receive,
I don't know if you're gonna like
you
having me here.
Oh, why? Why? You got some spicy takes?
Listen, I mean, I have some things to address. I have some things to address on the show. I have to deal with the slander that's been happening.
The
over the past few
slander?
weeks. The slander
What?
That's a
of
strong
Apple and
word
its
for
products.
Oh, I
I've been
thought.
seeing on this show
Oh,
recently.
God.
Some things I've seen on Sam's channel need to be addressed.
Uh-oh.
So I'm just
There's
I'm
nothing
just
on my
here.
channel that needs to be addressed because I don't upload.
Right, but you know, John, you used to call yourself the voice of the voiceless on this show.
Yeah.
And I'm here to represent what I've seen in the comments on Genius Bar over the
Oh,
past.
no.
Oh, no.
I have to go.
no.
I'm really
I'm here
busy.
representing.
I'm getting
Mayday.
a call. It's the data brokers. They are threatening me.
My data broker team is here.
Okay. Go ahead.
Well, it's
Oh,
your
we're
show
gonna-
now,
we're gonna
buddy.
jump in. We're gonna start
First,
here? Okay,
you
okay.
you can't lead in like
Yeah.
that and then not deliver. Go ahead,
It's called
bury
the
us.
teaser. Called the teaser. All right, listen. Let me start with something Sam said in one of his reviews. Actually, in a few of his reviews. Okay,
Oh, boy.
iPhone
Oh,
16.
God.
Sam is saying, "Hey, I don't want you buying this phone. This phone
Yeah.
is not finished. Apple Intelligence hasn't been all released. It's not ready to go. Why would you buy
Yes,
this
sir.
phone when you can get an iPhone 15 Pro, for example?" That was the argument. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I'm listening to the argument. Okay, Sam, I may not agree, but I'm listening to the argument, and it's you know,
Mhm.
everybody has a valid opinion. So okay. But then Apple releases a new MacBook Pro, a new Mac Mini. And do you know what Sam's take was? These are the best computers you can buy. Go get this Mac Mini. It's incredible. This MacBook Pro with an M4 Max chip, amazing. No one makes better computers than Apple.
Mhm.
Now, here's where my problem comes in. This is where I'm coming in here.
Oh boy.
Intelligence is not an iPhone feature. The same unfinished Apple Intelligence that you're telling people that they should avoid the iPhone 16 for
Uh-oh.
is on the Mini that you're telling them they should race to the Apple Store. It's in the same condition on both devices. So why would the unfinished aspect of it preclude you from buying an
shit.
iPhone,
Preclude.
but should not stop you and prevent you from procuring an M4 Mac Mini, for example? Do you see the discrepancy?
I think it just comes down to the value proposition, right? Like the M4 Mac Mini, complete redesign, same price, faster chip. Sure, Apple Intelligence is part of the marketing, but at the end of the day, that's the best $600 computer you can buy. Apple re-released a worse version of the same phone year over year, and that's the problem. Camera
Wait,
control.
how is it worse? How
Camera
is it
control,
worse?
dog.
How is it worse? If you take an iPhone
Dude.
15 Pro and an iPhone 16 Pro, how is the 16 Pro a worse phone? Do you know what happened to me earlier this week? I plugged in this iPhone 15 Pro that I haven't plugged in since the 16, roughly after the 16. I forgot how hot this damn iPhone 15 Pro gets. This phone, throughout the year, I would just be using it and I got used to it. And anytime I handed my phone to someone, the first, oh wow, why is your phone so hot? I'm like, no, it's not hot. It's no big deal. It's fine. This 15 Pro with the A17, no, that you can't tell me the 16 is a worse phone just because of Apple Intelligence. They both run Apple Intelligence, by the way. So the other question is, why did you tell people just buy a 15 Pro? Apple Intelligence is on there too.
I think when it comes, John's really, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm good.
Okay, I just wanted to check in. You look concerned. You look stressed.
I think people will be surprised. I'm on Sam's side,
Yeah.
which is
I
first,
mean,
I think. It feels weird going
it's
against Dad.
it's just it really is like a whole package thing. Like the 16 has been buggier for me than my 15 was. The battery life is marginally better for me. Like it's the fact that we waited an entire year for this thing, and it's just when the 15 Pro came out, it felt finished. And when the 16 Pro came out, it didn't. And even though the Mac Mini runs Apple Intelligence, the Mac Mini still feels finished. But when I use my iPhone 16 and the new Siri literally is unable to set a timer still, it's like, I don't know. Like Siri's kind of always been useless on the Mac, so I guess I didn't expect anything. But Apple's marketing has been just like incessantly focused on rubbing Apple Intelligence on the iPhone side specifically in our faces. And that's been my big discrepancy this year.
Do you remember? I think you have a short memory, sir.
Uh-oh.
Do you remember when the iPhone 15 Pro was released and Apple had to quickly address everybody talking about the overheating, talking about we're going to have a software update soon to address the fact that it's overheating and the battery life isn't living up to what you
an
expect.
Instagram thing?
No.
Yeah,
So
that was
Instagram was one of the examples, but it wasn't. They released the update and it was still a freaking hot phone no matter what we were using. So to say that the 15 Pro felt like a finished phone when Apple was like, hey, we're going to put a software update out quickly to address the fact that the battery sucks and it's hot and it remains so.
I guess that's the thing is like experience. The experience can be subjective because I didn't have overheating battery issues on the 15 Pro ever. So if you did, that's fair. But I think it's been such a jarring switch this year. That's what's getting me.
Now, camera control. Oh, let this man talk.
I just wanted to defend Sam's honor briefly.
Please do.
The real crux of the situation is Apple's pitch, because when you see the Mac Mini, the box isn't a Mac Mini with Apple Intelligence gradient around it. It's like Apple Intelligence is a feature that is also available there, and for like you're totally correct in saying that the iPhone 15 Pro also has Apple Intelligence, but that somehow makes the argument worse because. If you already have the iPhone 15 Pro, then definitely what is the reason for getting another one? Because arguably the only new thing that Apple has been touting with this, and the thing that's all over the marketing, is Apple Intelligence. It's the only product that Apple Intelligence is center stage for. It's not on the 15 Pro boxes. That's just like a bonus because the chip can handle it. It's all... Apple Intelligence is the flagship feature of the iPhone. No other products can say that, I feel like.
I don't think it's on the iPhone 16 Pro box either, though.
It's not on the box, but it's on everywhere. Everything else it is.
Right, but it's on everything. Like you go to the Apple store and it's Apple Intelligence is on the store. It's not Apple Intelligence on iPhone. It's just Apple Intelligence is here, right? On the store, for example, on the storefront. If you take Apple Intelligence away, though, I'm just saying how is it a worse phone? Right, like you said, subjective about my battery. I could counter with, well, the usage of the camera control button would also be subjective. There's some people that really like it. I turned off the like the swiping stuff. But for just taking pictures, fine with me. I really like it just for opening up the camera so that I can free up my action button to do other things.
Yeah,
I like that there's a better camera this year. I like the I like the A18 way better than the A17. So I think to just say like this is a worse phone, don't buy it. The 15 exists. And to not address the fact that Apple Intelligence on other devices sucks just as much. iPad, the Mac, it sucks just as much there.
Agreed.
So if you shouldn't buy an iPhone because of Apple Intelligence, then you shouldn't buy these other things for the same reason. If that is the sole reason, which is what you were saying in that video.
I think I hear what you're saying, to be clear, but I do think you're conflating two independent variables a bit, just because it is like it's what Jon said. It has been the central pitch. They ran ads for features on the iPhone. They've actually run an ad for a feature on the iPhone that isn't even in beta yet. it was the Millie Bobby Brown or whoever the young
that's her
actor.
name.
I don't remember her name, but
That's her name.
they showed her using Siri to understand her personal contacts back in September. The feature's still not out in beta. They showed that on an iPhone running, on an iPhone 16 Pro specifically. That's ridiculous. Like, we got to call it what it is. And I guess I think I'm just also at a point in my career where, like, I've been doing this for 12 years, and there was a really long time where I was like, oh, you know, maybe there's like these other reasons. But at the end of the day, I'm just like, my job is to like tell people how I feel and what my experience has been. And like, my experience has been like, the 16 is the worst iPhone I've ever bought. So like, if that's how I feel, that I feel a responsibility to say that, even if it is not the universal, perfectly objective experience. That's not what the point of my videos is. The point of my videos is to illustrate my thoughts and feelings. And I stand by every word that I've said in every video this year, regardless of if there's, you know, difference of opinion on your side. Like, I totally get that. Go ahead and make your video say, hey, Sam Cole's an idiot. He's wrong. Buy the iPhone 16 because I'm trying to get that sweet Apple event invite next year.
Listen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come on your show and say those things. I'm going to come on your show and say these things. But I do think there's one other thing that seems to, we're both using the word conflating against each other. So I'm going to use it right back at you. Okay.
Please.
I feel like it feels weird that I'm over here. I really feel like I need to be in the middle of this. Okay.
There we go.
This phone, right? This is the 16
iPhone
Pro.
16 Pro? Okay.
iPhone 16 Pro, right? This phone and no other device that you have around you is the marketing. This is the hardware, right? The hardware, and then there's the marketing of the product, which is separate than the product itself. I agree with everything you said about the marketing of Apple Intelligence, about the marketing of the iPhone, about the marketing of these features, but the marketing is not the product. The product stands alone, separate from the marketing once we get it in our hands, right? If you go by the marketing of what Apple is doing and how they're approaching it this year, I can completely agree with your take. But once you get the iPhone, again, my opinion, in your hand, and you take the marketing away, okay, that feature that they just showed me, I forgot, I feel like it was on some big show, award show or something, when I was watching the Grammys or whatever, is actually not here. But what is this phone? Let me see what I can do with it. I cannot look at something like this and be like, this phone is a better phone than the iPhone 16, this iPhone 10R. I can't.
See, we're getting extreme here, bro. He's going back to a phone from 2019.
You said the worst iPhone I've ever bought. You just said that. The worst I've ever bought. The worst.
Yes, it is the worst. It is the worst experience I have had with an iPhone in the 12 years I've been making YouTube videos.
That was an experience.
Like, I stand by that. I feel like this isn't a crazy thing to say. Like,
so let me ask you this question.
What it's
let me ask you this question. Here's what you'll prove to me if this is true.
Okay.
What phone do you use on a daily basis? Because if I bought something that I thought was the worst experience I've ever used, I would stop using it pretty much immediately and use something that I thought was better.
So I should. I use the 16 Pro every day.
This feels like
interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, you want to know why?
Using the worst iPhone you've ever had when you have other phones that you argue are better.
I don't have other phones. I have two 16 Pros.
Where's your 15 Pro?
I sell that to afford the new model.
Okay.
What do you? What?
You do know that you can get a used 15 Pro, which you argue is a much better experience for very cheap right now.
I mean, it's still like $700, but
the worst experience you've ever had. Let me move on to one other subject real quick. Okay. This is a quicker one.
Listen, I hear what you're saying, bro, but it's also my job to like follow this phone. And that's been something if you watch the entire video, that's something I set up as well. Is I said, listen, I would have the luxury, because I am very fortunate, to sell my 16 Pro and buy a 15 Pro. But like, most people don't have the time, the money, the ability to do that. So I'm very much on my journey with everybody else. And that's been a core crux at the end of all the videos. You've also heard me say, but I bought this, so I'm on this journey with you. And it's very much giving me perspective to be able to share my experience as the months progress. Like, for
I hope you
example,
know- Oh, go ahead.
iOS 18.3 has made the software experience significantly better for me.
I hope you know.
I just haven't had the opportunity to talk about
a
that.
lot of this is in jest. I'm just poking at you.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
I'm
Now-
with you, brother.
Now, the other topic, you guys do a lot of hating.
He's like, but this one is not in jest. This is
Okay, the
pissed.
fun is over.
You guys do a lot of hating on this device right here on this show.
Oh,
You do a lot of hating on
It's the
this.
same
don't show
noise.
me. Don't show me that.
Now,
Oh,
here's what I want to say. Here's the only thing I want to say, actually. And I'm also calling out Wayne Ma on this.
Oh no, not Wayne Ma.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a
I'm
big
calling
Calling him
him
an
call
out.
actual
out.
goat.
Okay.
That is a big call out.
Before the Apple Vision Pro was announced,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe shortly after as well,
I
Mr.
know what you're gonna
Ma
bring up.
reported that Sony will be making the lenses, and they will be able to make about 975,000 of these lenses per year, right? Now, each Vision Pro uses 2 of them, so 2 lenses for each Vision Pro. They can make about 975,000 per year. Apple Vision Pro turned a year old 5 days ago. Are we all on the same page there?
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Recently, Wayne Ma, about two months ago, 6 weeks ago, wrote a follow-up article, not a follow-up, but another article saying the fact that the Apple Vision Pro has only sold roughly 500,000 units shows that it is a failure. Now, if you make 975,000 lenses and each device takes 2, doesn't that make you believe that, oh, they're probably going to make roughly 500,000 of these in a year because that's the amount of lenses that are needed, and you can't take out any lenses and still sell this thing. It needs 2. If you make and use every lens available and then sell all of them, where is the problem? How is it a flop? We can only make 500,000. We sold 500,000. It flopped.
But they haven't sold They have not sold 500,000.
Now, how do we know that? Because some people are saying it's around 4. Some people are saying it's more than 5, which I'm like, unless they up the production of these lenses, even if it was 4, and they were able to sell 80% of what they made, it's a flop. It's a flop. Because the way it was written was like, why haven't they sold 1.5 million of these? This is crazy. No one's buying this. Like, they cannot. And then everybody else.
You're a sneaky little guy the way you phrase things. I will say you really are. You know, John,
Not saying anything untrue.
Is there a data broker? Is he been scraping our data?
I think so. There's only one way to get rid of them.
Listen, I'm just saying, like.
Oh, stop talking.
We're trying to cut to an
Okay,
ad.
and we're back.
Oh, I didn't get it. Okay. All right.
We're back.
I'm just saying. It doesn't, you can't, those two things don't make sense together. You can't report one thing and say, before it comes out, they're going to make roughly 1 million lenses, and then later say, oh, they only sold about 500,000, so this is not doing it. It just doesn't make sense.
So this is another thing. Technically, you are correct, right? Like that is the reporting.
Right.
He's sort of been playing both sides, which you could argue isn't fair, right? At the same time, in this universe where Apple sells 500,000, I still argue only selling 500,000 does not make this product a success for them. Even if they could only make that much, the fact that they stopped production, they made everything that they could. You're going into Apple stores, the software on these headsets hasn't been updated in a year because people aren't buying them.
What do you mean?
I think it's somebody the other day, Gurman tweeted that they bought a Vision Pro new from Apple
like
3 days
unboxed
ago. Yeah, and it had
I see.
software from March of 2024 on it. So it's like they're clearly not moving a lot of product, right? And I think I think Wayne Mall was using that example as a way to illustrate his argument. Sure, there might have been a hole in that, but I don't think it changes the fact that argument is actually very fair and it resonates with me, because even if Apple's only selling 500,000 of these, I thought it was personally weird that the year anniversary of the Vision Pro passed and Apple didn't say a word. They didn't say anything. Dude, if you look back at other historical product launches, a year of iPhone, a year of iPad, a year of Apple Watch, they were going nuts with how this changed the world, how they popped off. Tim Cook is on the record.
What was the year of Apple Watch and what was the year of AirPods?
Were they exploded or were they sold well? Because I think those are two different.
What was the celebratory thing that they did for a year of AirPods or a year of Apple Watch?
I mean, it was just the way that they talked. I'm fairly confident there were newsroom releases about these.
It's like when people were like, how come Tim Cook refuses to wear the Vision Pro? And then they slowly, he's never worn AirPods. He only wears the Apple Watch as far as wearing stuff. Like,
we're getting, I feel like we're getting distracted.
Oh, sorry. Not trying
let me just finish by saying Tim Cook is on the record saying, quote, people who want tomorrow's technology today, that's who this is for. Yeah. He said it's, quote, not a mass market product. He's never talked about an Apple product in his tenure as CEO in that way.
But we knew that. But he's saying what we all said before. Like we all said.
Andrew, you're doing the same thing as Wayne Mall. You're playing both sides. Tim Cook on the record said Vision Pro sold less than any of our other products, and then you're somehow arguing it's still a success?
What? Hold up. I never, ever argued that or said the word success. All I said was
I also think it's interesting
sold what they made.
It's interesting when Tim Cook said that, because he didn't say it when it launched. He said it after it was clear that it didn't do well. Then he was like, "Oh, it's fine because it's not a mass market product." So don't worry, everybody else. Don't worry, Andru
Edwards. We all
Edwards.
knew any $3,500 product Apple releases, any of them, MacBook Pro, when you configure it to $3,500, a Mac Pro, we all know those are not mass market products. We all know this.
I disagree.
We don't. So you would say that a $3,500 MacBook Pro, configured as such, obviously, because they don't start at that price, or a Mac Pro, for example, or a Mac Studio at $3,500. These are mass market products that most people buy. Because I would argue that they're not. They're at the fringe. Most people buy the entry level and they might bump up the RAM a little bit, but that's about it. Those are the best selling computers Apple makes, the cheapest ones. So anything at $3,500 is not a mass market product. It was obvious that Vision Pro was going to be a niche product, but a niche product for Apple. So, and what I mean by that is, I don't think most companies, you take the exact same product, no changes at all, except for the logo on the product, same price, no other company, except maybe Meta, I don't know, they tried, would sell the same amount of quantity, roughly 500,000, that Apple did. So that's what I mean by niche for Apple. They're going to sell a little more than others might with the same product. But in no way did I think any of us, including Apple, I don't think Apple was shocked at the sales of the Apple Vision Pro based on the price, especially when we all thought it was going to be $3,000. And then they were like, hey, $34.99.
Here's my perspective on this.
They had to know.
I don't think the price is the problem for Vision Pro. I think Apple sells just as many if this thing is $1,500.
No way.
It's not useful, bro. It's a movie device. Who is spending $1,500 cash on a movie device when I don't even know the percent, but it has to be probably above 80% of American homes own a TV that they bought for $800. Like, there's also this Americans probably universally in the market, people want the cheapest, biggest possible TV they can get. And even if Vision Pro is $1,000 one day, if it's only for watching movies and it's only for you, that's just like kind of an impossible sell. And I'm not saying that down the road Vision Pro can't evolve, it can't change, it can't become something else, but we're 370 days into this product And I use it the exact same that I did a year ago, and that's once or twice a month to watch movies, and I still leave every damn time with a headache. Every time. Like, it's just... It's that's what I'm saying. It's not the price. Sure, that's a common argument, and I think that's a contributing factor. But I just think the reason is the utility. I think if something is worth a certain amount of money, it will sell. I think about this in the high-end car market, right? When a new Lamborghini drops, you have to have a relationship with the dealer to get it. You can resell that thing for way more than it's worth. It's off the shelf before it was even put on the shelf. Apple still has these Vision Pros made, even though they made every single one that they could. There's 500,000 wealthy people in the world that can drop 3,500, and these affluent customers aren't spending the cash on Vision Pro. Why? It's not because of the money, it's because of the utility.
Well, with a Lamborghini, there's a bit of history, you know. There's like they make them and sell them immediately because people want a Lamborghini. They know what a Lamborghini is, whereas
and they want to show their Lamborghini.
No one knows. I think that I like halfway agree, but I also think that the price is a major factor because the people that it's hard to convince someone that is even slightly interested in AR VR to try it for the first time for $3,500. Like, I think if it's less than that, it's easier to eat it just to try it, because until you try it, you don't even know if there's no utility for you, I guess. But like,
I think is a real barrier. Like, if you can't afford something, then you just cannot get it, right? If you don't have the money, and if you're not willing to go into debt, if you don't have the money, you cannot buy anything you can't afford. You just can't, even if you want to. If you have the money, you get to decide if the utility works for you, right? Like, for example, I use my Vision Pro almost daily. I use it, like Sam said, for TVs, but I also use it for the Mac widescreen display feature. Those are probably my two biggest use cases. So if there are people who would love to use it as a movie device and or a work device, but they can't afford it, they're not getting it. They're just not. But if it was cheaper, those same people might say, "Oh, I could afford $1,500. I'm gonna buy this, and I'm gonna use it as my, I live alone. I'm a bachelor, whatever. I'm gonna use it as my TV. I'm gonna use it with my MacBook Pro." But if you don't have the money, you just don't have the opportunity to do it.
Go ahead, Sam. I feel like you're queuing up a point.
No. I know, but it's even if you try it, even if they were handing these away, I think people are going to use them sometimes. They're okay. There's some magical experiences, but when it causes users physical pain, like,
that's an issue. I agree. That is an issue.
Yeah, it's just, but there's so many issues with this product, and that's what I'm trying to say is it's. People will point to the price and say, well, of course nobody's buying it at $3,500. But I think that's insinuating that the underlying product is nuts good. And it's not. It's okay.
How do they get out of this hole? Is there any way to fix this situation?
What do you think, Andrew? You use it more than me.
You can't. You mean in its current incarnation?
Okay, so you are right now. There's been like rumors of the Vision team being very low morale. Like there's no focus on the project. Like these are people working on it, and they don't feel like there's a vision or a focus. Well, I didn't mean to say vision. They don't feel like there's a focus on the product. Okay, so morale is low. The product is what it is. The stats are what they are. Tim Cook calls you up tomorrow because he watches Genius Bar all the time, obviously.
Sure does.
And he's like, wow, Andrew's really smart and could probably fix this. So tomorrow,
that's undeniable, yeah.
You're in charge of the Vision Pro team. What's your next step? Or are you fine selling $400,000 a year?
This episode is brought to you by IQBAR, our exclusive snack sponsor.
Hey, Sam. Have you thought to yourself lately, wow, Jon seems really smart lately. Smarter than usual.
Yeah, did you change something?
I did. I've been eating IQBAR. Who sent us many sampler packs? Did you say exclusive snack? That's easy because there's so many things in here. There's their protein bars. There's instant coffee, which is delicious. It's crazy. Have you had this yet? Currently eating a peanut butter chocolate chip one, which I highly recommend, everybody.
You just see. I'm sorry. I just wanted to give you some space for these emotions. It seems like there's a lot going on. You seem really happy.
You tell them while I eat it. See if you can tell them faster than I can eat it. I'll take my time.
Here's the vibes. You can start your morning with IQ Joe, a jitter-free coffee that has natural caffeine and boosts my focus and my mood with magnesium and lion's mane blend. Then you can grab an IQ bar that show us the vanilla spice. IQ bar is the go-to snack that satisfies hunger with no sugar crash. And they're easy to put in your bag, your suitcase, your carry-on. And for your workout, John, they've got IQ Mix Hydration with 3 times as many as electrolytes as sports drinks.
Yeah, it feels like it.
I mean, John, it's a new year. You want to start things off right. You want to be in the right spot to achieve your best. And right now, IQBAR is offering our podcast listeners an exclusive deal. That's 20% off all IQBAR products plus get free shipping.
Crazy.
Guys, it's absolutely ridiculous. To get your 20% off, just text GeniusBar to 64,000. 64000. Text GeniusBar to 64,000. That's GeniusBar to 64,000. Of course, message and data rates may apply. See terms for details.
Aren't you jealous I'm going to be smarter than you this episode? Thanks, IQ Bar. What if Tim wants you to hit 1 million? What are you going to do to
selling the amount that they've sold? I forgot. Sam and I were talking a couple weeks ago, and I forget the percentage number, but it put them in the VR space, similar to where it put them the first year of the iPhone percentage sales worldwide in the smartphone space.
Hang on, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. You mentioned something very important for this moment. You said Sam and I were talking about this a couple weeks ago. Just for the audience and listeners, just so you know, it's not a bit. Andrew, this is actually what he does when the episodes go out. This is what he conversates with you about. If it's not wrestling, it's Apple, and it's not a bit. He actually means 100% of it. It's not for the podcast.
Correct.
This is real.
Correct.
It's real life. Okay, go ahead.
So Apple, I forget what the number was that they accomplished at the end of the first year of the iPhone, where they wanted to hit we want to hit 5% of the market, whatever it was. Vision Pro did similar. So if you look at the market of VR, obviously there's a lot of people who are just they're not gonna buy a VR headset, even if it was $500. They're not gonna buy a Meta Quest 3 because they just think it looks uncomfortable and or stupid, right? So there's also people out there who might have actually enjoyed the experience of just VR in general, who are just like, no, that a headset is just not for me. I'm not gonna walk around like that. Just like the people who, when Google Glass first came out, were like, I'm not putting that on my face. I refuse. I don't care what kind of utility it has. I'm not going to look dumb like that in public or in private. So we know there's that as well. But in the VR space, people who are willing to buy VR headsets, Apple has done something significant in capturing a good portion of the market in 1 year, while other competitors have been in the market for a decade. So year one, I think they're doing pretty well, all things considered.
Okay.
This is going to go back to what we were saying in the beginning of Vision Pro, which is it has to be more comfortable. Like for me, I am lucky or blessed or whatever that I can put the Vision Pro on and keep it on for hours, and I'm not uncomfortable. My neck doesn't hurt, my head doesn't hurt. And I would be incredibly disappointed if I had the issues Sam had, and I'd probably feel the same as Sam. If I buy a device that's $4,000 after tax, and I put it on and it literally hurts my body to use it after half an hour or whatever, that would be terrible. That would suck. So, and I'm sure Sam's not the only one. So for people who are experiencing that, that's terrible. They need to fix that. The weight needs to go down. It's like weight and price. Sam said a minute ago, like there's a lot of things wrong with this product. I really feel like it's 2 things. It's the weight and it's the price. If you can get the weight down, you can get the price down. You're not going to be able to convince the people who just think it looks stupid and I'm unwilling to look stupid to wear one. That's a whole different topic. But the people who are willing to try and buy VR, it needs to be comfortable and it needs to be not the cost of a damn Mac Studio that with an M4 Max, by the way, not even the M4 Pro. Like it's crazy expensive.
Those are the 2 things. I really want to make. I think
and throw some gaming controllers in there. Throw some damn gaming controllers in there and get the gaming developers on board with the product. Because even if you add PlayStation VR support or any other support, if it's not in the box when you buy it, then that means it's only going to be for a subset of buyers. So you release a game that uses or requires the controllers, you don't know. Apple's not going to tell you that, well, 10% of Vision Pro owners also have controllers, or 30%, or whatever. The only way to guarantee and feel safe developing a game that requires controllers is to know that when you buy the Vision Pro, the controllers come in the box. Then you know everybody who has one has the opportunity to try and enjoy my game. And without that data, it's really risky as a developer to make games that require controllers, because you just have no clue how many Vision Pro customers actually also have the hardware required to play your game. So I think it would be those three things: the weight, the price, and lean into gaming a little more on this thing.
Okay, Sam, he calls you tomorrow and hires you. What are you doing? Are you canning it or are you fixing it?
Dump it.
Dump it.
No. I don't know. I don't know if AR VRs. They've broken me. This is what's sad, is they've broken me.
Oh boy.
I was so excited for the AR future, and then it just, I don't know. It feels like we're really far from glasses. And I do think
that
apparently
canceled.
Well, the Mac
not
connected
technically
version.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what was canceled was a version of AR glasses that would plug into your Mac, almost like the X Real.
Oh, okay.
So I think a lot of people are seeing Apple cancels AR glasses, and it's like, oh, there's no more glasses coming anymore. But it's like they were working on one for the iPhone, then they said, you know what, let's do one for the Mac, and now they're like, okay, that doesn't work. But that doesn't mean they're not going to use what they've learned there to make, you know, a wireless pair, for example, instead of one that's specifically for the Mac.
I see.
I think my perspective on Vision Pro is it's just a stopgap until the glasses, and there's not much that Apple can do except make it lighter and keep adding the AR features, because the VR stuff I don't think is it. But I think the roadmap to get there is tough, and I think, I don't know. I think the problem.
Go ahead, Sam.
I just gonna say I think the problem with this product is that Apple's having the same conversations we are. I don't think they know. I don't think they know what to do. I don't think there's a roadmap, and that's
the Pro is not an AR device. I feel like it's become more and more apparent. This is not an AR device, and it is very. I mean, it's obvious when you look at it, right? This is a VR headset, and its primary use case as a VR headset is to put you in a virtual reality environment for you to experience augmented reality.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. It's not an AR device, though. It's a VR device that simulates AR. So it's kind of a preview of what AR will be when AR is feasible to do. But I feel like if you look at phones, for example, and I feel like it's a weird thing to say because we're in such a futuristic place and we have so many cool things now, but I feel like it is apps to like recognize you couldn't just release the iPhone as the first smartphone, right? You had to have the bulky briefcase cellular phone, and then the big, you know, handheld cellular phones that fit in your whole.
What just happened?
Directly in my face, bro. How do I? Man, this is. I hate this. My camera. I was making a good point too. My camera. I did something with my hands, and my camera
Apparently
zoomed in.
The point was so good that it's this serious.
I had to move back so you could see me. Anyway, smartphones, they had to start somewhere. You couldn't just wait until you couldn't just wait and just release the iPhone as your first smartphone. And I feel like it's going to be similar with
more, bro.
I like wheeled back in because I was like, you just did that. John.
This is
John,
okay. Listen,
I am not Sam.
Okay, listen. You're. What does that mean? You are.
You be zooming in on Sam all the time.
No, you are. Okay, I just want to let you know. This is 100% untouched. This is actually what your feed looks like. Okay, there we go.
Look at that. You gotta use hand
gestures. Do this.
You doing wizard signals on us?
No way. That's how it works.
Yeah, that's how it works. I forgot like what I did, but it's like, yeah,
bro, I hate technology. Just
That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool.
Oh my
It is cool,
god!
but when you accidentally do it, it's a
I've
little
seen
weird.
what you
Walk in a
guys
circle.
cheer for. Jesus.
Okay.
Anyway, the point being, these glasses that we saw, it's interesting how Meta was like, hey, look at these glasses that we're working on. And
Orion.
Snapchat was like, look at these glasses we're working on, right? You cannot tell me that Apple, if they wanted to, couldn't bring people in and show them the same kind of stuff with glasses.
Oh, for sure.
It's just that Apple's not going to show something that's like, yeah, we can't release these for another 10 years, but we just wanted to give you a look at them.
Yeah, the issue
No,
is
agree.
that
That was. I'm gonna say it. That was fucking stupid. And all the tech media people that were like, "Look at what Meta's working on." I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you. Yeah, I'm calling people out.
It's
Stop
cool.
acting like this stuff that's not going to be available forever is cool. It's just any company out there can do a tech demo.
Who made a rule though that you can't talk about something that's not going to be publicly available?
Dude, it's the way
That's all
they
CES
talked
is.
about it.
That's
It's
the whole
way
thing.
they
You can.
talk. CES is dumb as well.
As people who are, I think it's our goal, as Sam said earlier when we were talking about the iPhone, right? He has to put out the information that he thinks serves his viewers, right? Which I totally understand and agree with. I think by leaving out saying that point, the point that I just said, that Apple could also bring you into a lab and show you glasses that they're working on that will be just as impressive as what Meta showed and Snapchat showed. No one said that. No one made that point. It was almost like the story was what I think what Meta hoped it would be, which is, look how far ahead we are of Apple. Look what we're
Agreed.
working on. Apple has a
Agreed.
Vision Pro. Look what we have. You don't have that, though. You literally said at the end, it costs like $12,000 per pair. They're going to be a developer
They're
unit.
just saying
but
it before Apple.
for developers only inside of Facebook. Not even external developers can buy these. You're like, your team inside of Facebook has to like buy these $12,000 glasses to work on them, which means it's not a product. But no one made that point. It was like, let's show how far ahead we are of Apple with these glasses that we're working on and compare them to Vision Pro. And I feel like it's our job to do that. It's like to get through that stuff, like I was trying to do with Wayne Ma a minute ago. It's like, okay, here's what he said, but what does this really mean?
No, I'm with you.
That's
I'm with
like
you.
Apple's. That's something that every company takes advantage of, whether it's publicly available or not. We have things that are not publicly available that are taking advantage of Apple doing that, like Meta's Orion or whatever it's called, where it's like,
Yeah.
obviously they can leverage the fact, and I would too if I was Mark Zuckerberg. They can leverage the fact that Apple is going to be quiet no matter what. So if they're going to be quiet, and it's who cares if it costs you $12,000 to make a pair? You can still, as a company, you can make the decision to show concepts if you want, because to the public, to the like a regular person, that looks like you're far ahead. Because Apple's not going to come out the next day and go, well, actually, guys, we're working on it too. So of course they're going to leverage that. It's like it's the only leverage they have. And then you have Samsung and other companies that will do it with products that can be available. Like when we heard that the iPhone was getting titanium sides, other companies put out their titanium phones before Apple did, just based on the rumor. And now Samsung put out that like super thin phone, the Edge, whatever, just with a rumor of an iPhone Air, because that will make them first, regardless of where the rumors come out. It's like what the public sees is the perception. And if I was Mark Zuckerberg, I'd fucking leverage that too if I made those glasses. That's sweet as hell.
Can I show something real quick as an aside?
I think it's cheap. I want to close by saying I think it's cheap leverage.
It is, but it's leverage you can take.
But it's just like, I guess what something I've said forever about Meta, and I will continue to say, and anytime anybody talks about them, I just bring up this point. Meta has yet to ever create a truly successful hardware product. Now, you can argue the Ray-Bans are kind of getting there, that people do seem to like them, but Meta's ability to make competent hardware and software together has never actually been done at scale. And I just think it goes to show that when they're like, oh, we made this cool thing for us, though. It's like, dude, you give me a few Billy, I can make a VR headset too. All right, and I'll invite Marquez, The Verge, and we'll all come over to my house, and I'll be like, look at the rainbow gradient.
What's the difference between, because Apple's doing that too? They're just doing it in secret. So what's the difference between not keeping a secret or keeping it a secret?
The difference
I
is
think the
not
difference is Apple
from
knows
the
when to show it
marketing of
off.
the company.
Yeah.
My problem is with the journalists and influencers who don't connect the dots for the viewers. My problem is not with Facebook for marketing their product.
Okay.
I have issues with both. I have ops with everybody. I also just
Samsung though. Speaking of Samsung though, you guys know this phone, right?
Oh, nope. What is that?
Not even a little bit.
You don't know this one? Do you know this one?
No, they look the same. Those are the same phones.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Okay,
that says S25, right?
What about this?
It's the same phone.
Are you sure? Because Samsung users always tell me that Apple releases the same phone every year. And these are
those actually three different phones?
These are the last 3 phones that Samsung has released.
Oh, they're different.
Oh, really?
They say that Apple releases the same phone just in different colors, and that Samsung and Android doesn't do that. So I just wanted to S24.
No, dude, Samsung is just doing what Apple does. That's all they are now. That's all they've become.
Did you guys see the Samsung Vision Pro?
Flat sides now, though.
Yeah, they're titanium.
Yeah.
Wow.
Unique
forward thinking. I love it.
Sides. So just want to call that out.
I have a clip to show that I saw this week that is actually a perfect, fascinating thing I can't believe I have never seen.
Where the hell is...
I got to show a video. Sorry to do this, John, for editing, but it ties into Android users. And there was a fascinating study I never knew about that explains so much about life to me personally.
Android users, you should see yourself out. We'll see you next week. I'm guessing this is not going to be pretty.
So there was a really interesting video 3 years ago from this channel called Big Think, where they reference a study where they take a look at Android users and iPhone users and how they perceive the other. It's really interesting. I want to hear if you guys pick up on what they said. I think it's around here.
MRI machine. While they heard good,
or I hate this brand. Of course, what people say, right, can often be different from what's really going on in their heads. So we thought, well, why don't we just ask the brain directly?
Michael and his team observed the brains of iPhone users and Samsung Galaxy users with an MRI machine while they heard good, bad, and neutral news about Apple and Samsung.
Apple customers showed a brain empathy response toward Apple that was exactly what you'd see in the way you would respond to somebody in your own family.
Strangely, Samsung users didn't have any positive or negative responses when good or bad news was released about their brand. The only evidence that Samsung users showed was reverse empathy for Apple news, meaning if the Apple headline was negative, their brain reflected a positive response.
Isn't that fucking insane?
I
feel like both were a little insane, actually.
Wait,
no. That's what I'm saying.
Continue. Keep talking. Vamp for me.
Dude, the fact that, so this is what I found fascinating, that Apple users responded to Apple news in the way of their own family.
Yes.
Samsung users didn't respond to Samsung news with a familial sense, but they got angry and were happy when Apple had bad news. That's
Sam, can you pull
crazy.
I just sent you a link. Can you pull that up?
Yeah.
That is hilarious. Well, both sides were hilarious.
This tweet.
So to be like, when I hear positive news about Apple, it makes me feel as if I heard positive news about my brother.
This is from 2019.
Read it.
Oh, it says Apple fanboys defend Apple because they love Apple products. Android fanboys defend Android because they love to hate Apple. I basically did the Big Think study without an MRI machine. You're welcome.
That is
like, if I'm on TikTok or like watching short form creators, I'm not going to throw anybody out there. If they focus on Android content, half their videos they're using an iPhone to tell you how bad the iPhone is. Whereas if you watch iPhone creators, they're never taking out an Android. They're just talking about the iPhone. So if you're an Android creator, you're talking about the iPhone half the time. And if you're an iPhone creator, you're talking about the iPhone 100% of the time.
Yeah, but what if
no
they
one
don't
talks
bring out
about
a
Android?
Samsung phone because it'll embarrass the iPhone because it's so good?
Yeah. But that's what I find that study was so interesting to me. I think it explains a lot about myself, right? Although they didn't study my brain, because my brain would have also showed the negative empathy response towards Samsung news. Like they should have asked me about Samsung like in the MRI machine, and I would have been like, "Yeah, it's on fire. Let's go." Because I'm like a petty little bitch.
You are like a closeted Android fan that just carries an iPhone.
You know what?
reverse Android fan.
We
yeah.
should get the same test done, all three of us, because then the viewers will know who really means it.
That would be. Is that like the new lie detector?
We
test?
don't even need to do the Samsung part because who gives a fuck? We just need the Apple bit. We need to see who responds most to good Apple news because I bet it's Andrew.
I have a theory though, John.
No,
Okay.
I don't think it's you or me that responds the most positive to Apple
That's
news.
what I think
it's somebody else.
I think it's someone else on this call. Is all I'm saying.
Listen.
I think if they told him bad
enjoy-
news, he would be like, I have to unhook this and go on GENIUSBAR. I have to defend it. I must leave.
No.
I must see myself out.
Let's simulate an email from Apple PR being sent to all three of us and see the brainwave response when that hits the inbox.
Here's the thing. Okay.
Go ahead. The floor is
Here's the
yours.
thing. I don't think anything I've said in this show is based on fanboyism. I think everything I said is accurate. I would like to focus on facts.
You are
It's like the
clever.
way-
Yeah, that's
boy.
what we all think, buddy. We all think we're focusing on facts
I'm saying,
here.
for real. Like the thing that we started with the iPhone, where it was like Apple Intelligence is on all these products. How could you just point out one product when it's on all of them? Right? That's just a fact.
How is
When
it
we're talking
real?
about Wayne Ma saying
How
they
is
can
it
only
real?
make
He's not
500K.
a real guy.
They can only make 500K. They only sold 500K. That's just, it's like, it doesn't make sense. It's just
But
a
see,
fact.
that's the thing. That's the thing. This is the thing about you, okay? You're very clever. You're very sneaky because you say things that, like,
I can't play all of it because we'll get
And-
copyright
yeah,
struck,
and-
but
it's like if you aren't in the room, Andrew, okay?
Yeah.
This is the truth. This is how it works. If you aren't in the room, I have the full spectrum. Like all the slices of pizza are there. I see the
Okay, I
half
love
of the
pizza.
pizza that is good, and I see the half of the pizza that has pineapple on it, and it's ass. I see both sides. Okay.
agreed.
So I can like contextualize all that. When you
Yeah.
walk into the room, you somehow overwrite my previous knowledge with whatever you're about to say. So you are saying facts, but you're choosing very specific facts, and you're saying it in such a way that I've forgotten about the pineapple. So for a second after I hear what you say, I go, huh, he's right. Until about 3 hours later when I remember I'm still hungry and there's still more pizza. You're a sneaky, sneaky boy.
I understand the example that you just gave, but I don't think that applies.
You
Because
wouldn't.
My whole
convenient.
point.
Pineapple
about,
eater?
My whole point about what Sam was saying was the fact that he relied on Apple Intelligence as a reason to not buy one Apple product, but ignored all the other Apple products that have the same unfinished Apple Intelligence features and said they should be purchased.
Yeah,
that was the only thing I was talking
Sam,
about.
the context of Sam's position
Thank
was
you,
important,
John.
and then it was gone when you overwrote it. And I'm
That
just
is-
now
yeah.
remembering that
But it's
2
not
hours into
if
the
you-
show.
If you go
An
and
hour
watch the
in.
video, the main reason to not buy the iPhone 16 was Apple Intelligence is unfinished. It wasn't Apple Intelligence unfinished, and here's all these other things too.
I have a great example. Ready
Please.
right now before you overwrite it again.
Bring it up.
Okay, when Sam is talking in his video, when you guys were doing this, and I was like queuing something up, and this was what was queued up. This is what I was about to say, because you were like, you put up the iPhone XR, and you're like, how could Sam say? Do you mean this is better? And the important context there again is that Sam is talking. You have to be contextually aware of the time. So he's saying, this time last year, I was happier with the iPhone 15 Pro purchase than this time this year that I am with the iPhone 16 Pro. And that was wiped away
why?
with something you
That's
said.
what I'm saying.
You
That's what I'm
overwrote
saying.
the
John,
information.
John
You
understands
threw it in
it.
the
No,
trash
you're
can and
overriding
emptied
right
my
now.
trash. It was
You're
wrong.
overriding right now. Because the reason that he was more unhappy this year was because Apple has been marketing Apple Intelligence as a feature to buy the phone, and it's an unfinished feature. It's the marketing is what he was unhappy with.
But that's all it is.
No, it's
the
both.
phones are the same.
Both.
Every year. This year's has a fucking stupid
We're not 48
useless.
megapixels.
It has a useless, stupid button on the side. That's the difference with hardware this year. The difference that is all over the marketing is Apple Intelligence. If you go to the
doesn't
website,
matter.
it says under the iPhone, above the iPhone, hello, Apple Intelligence. Why did it say that on the fucking Mac?
The marketing
It actually
doesn't
does
matter.
say
the
that. It
marketing
actually
It
does.
does.
office
It's how you
great
purchase a
marketing
product. That's how you buy it. Before you have
Our
the
job
product,
is to
all you
take the
have is the
marketing and throw
marketing.
it away.
I'm
We're supposed to
gonna
throw
lose
away the
it.
marketing.
All you have
throw
before
away
you
the
purchase the product with your money is the marketing.
We are
That's
supposed
why
to be
commercials
impervious to the
exist.
marketing. The marketing doesn't touch us. We
What
see
are you
through the
talking
marketing.
about?
Our job is to see through the marketing as if the marketing doesn't even exist. And we have this device,
doing
and I'm
it.
going to tell you all about
I
this
can feel
device.
the
Who
information
cares about
being
the marketing?
overwritten.
I do think there's something very important that Andrew said that I think is maybe a contributing factor to how we all feel the way that we do. He said it's our job to see through the marketing.
Yes.
But I think we are not officially in an era. We are not just in an era. We are cemented in an era where, because there is no barrier, and I'm not necessarily saying this is all bad, even though that's kind of what it sounds like I'm saying. I don't actually feel this way, but we're in an era where, like, yeah, traditionally to be a journalist, you had to go to school, you had to get a degree, you had to learn the rules. Anybody can now pick up their phone and get 5 million followers on TikTok. Like,
Yes.
I love Carter PCs.
Who?
What the fuck does he know about journalism? Right?
Mm-hmm.
He's an awesome creator. He is far better of a creator than I think I will ever be. He knows how to connect with his audience. He's so good at what he does, and his views and engagement reflects that. Like, he's just an incredible human, but he also doesn't claim to be a journalist.
Correct.
And I think that's sort of what's tough is it's a lot of people playing both sides. Like, I've done this in the past where it's like, I'll kind of claim to be a journalist, more objective, but then I'm also like, oh, but I'm going to say this positive thing for a certain reason. And it's just a weird era that we're in where it's like so many, and this is a discussion I've had with a lot of my friends in the media, is that, like, Apple has very much pivoted from doing the sort of like critical, harsh journalism folks at their events to the influencer that's going to show off the pink colors and how pretty everything is. And
100%.
like, I think that's doing them more harm than good is what I'm trying to say. I'm saying there's not anything inherently wrong with these creators having fun or being excited about colors, but I think Apple is sort of like creating their own echo chamber currently of like, hey, it's all good though. It's all good. When that doesn't exactly match reality.
You can't beat them, join them kind of thing, where it's like, this is where everybody's going anyway. So we need to be a part of the conversation and we're going to embrace it as opposed to, put our hand up and try to keep it away.
That's very possible too. And I'm not saying that it's like, I don't get why Apple's doing it. I get that they want more positive feedback out there, but I will also say that, like, friends of mine that have bought the 16, universally, this is not just a me thing. This is not me prompting the conversation. They've been like, what's up with this, like, Apple Intelligence? Like, Siri's dog shit still. And it's people that have bought the phone excited about these new features because they've seen one of their favorite creators maybe talk about it, or they just saw it on Apple's website. I've had a video in my head for forever about this, and maybe this is a video that I need to do. It's hard to contextualize all of this into like one 15-minute video. The magic of Apple products used to be that what they advertised matched your experience at home. And that was what made this company so magical. They would show you, pull out a MacBook Air from an envelope, and you'd get it, and it felt just as light as it looked when they took it out. But Apple's sort of run out of juice to keep doing these crazy innovations, so they're now moving to like software features, right? And they're saying, oh, this new Siri gets you, this new Siri understands you. Yet when you use the new Siri, it can still barely set a timer. And people are taking note of this. Like, something I've just felt in general is that I feel like people that are like on the top, executives of companies, presidential candidates, billionaires, they're very much like talking down to us as if we're silly and we're stupid and that we can't see through the BS. But that's not actually how people work. And people can see the difference when some policy changed or when they say one thing and do another. And I think that's really that's the problem with Apple Intelligence. That's why I'm frustrated with the iPhone 16. It's Apple saying, hey, we're all good. This is fine. This is the best iPhone ever. Yet my experience has been completely the opposite of all of that. And the experiences of many of my peers who have also purchased these phones have been the opposite of what the promise was.
I get everything you just said. I want to tell you like the way I see my job, right? And this is not to defend Apple or any company. So there's everything Sam just said, right? Everything Sam just said, which is valid and accurate. Here's how I feel when I bought this device based on what Apple told me or got me excited about when I watched a commercial or a keynote or whatever it was, right? And then there's the reality of the situation. Reality of the situation is some of these features aren't going to be out until October, and then another set of features are going to come in December, and then another set, probably the biggest features are coming in
March.
Let's say March,
maybe
right?
April.
That's the reality of the situation. I feel like it's most helpful to the public, to the masses, to focus on that messaging, which is, all right, guys, Apple talked about Apple Intelligence, but just so you know, this feature that you might have seen isn't coming until next month, and this other one isn't coming until December, and this one that we're all waiting for isn't going to be here till March. So just know that when you're buying your phone. I feel like that is a way more informative and helpful thing to say than, hey guys, I just bought my iPhone and Apple Intelligence sucks. It doesn't even, Siri sucks. When those people know the timeline, they know the timeline, but it's more focused on like,
But
let me get
Marquez
people
said,
riled up with me,
Marquez
right?
said
I don't
buy
get
for
who that's
promise.
helping. Say that again, John?
Marquez said, don't buy for promise, buy for now. That's what he
Right,
said.
but I'm not saying buy it. I'm not saying buy it or not. What I'm saying is you may have seen this in the marketing. Here's what the true story is. Here's the reality of the situation. Now you know whether you're going to buy it or not, what to expect. Not just, it's not here. It's not here. What are they doing? It's not here. I get that that's also that's a valid feeling if you expected it, but I want to help you have the right expectation so that you don't buy something that you're frustrated by, or that when you buy it, it's less frustrating because you knew when you bought it what to actually expect. And I feel like a lot of people are like, well, you're just defending Apple, but it's not about that. It's about, I want people to know because they don't know because of the marketing. And that's why I said we've got to separate ourselves from the marketing, because the marketing from any company is rarely just accurate and true, right? It's always over the top, and the whole goal is to get you to buy the product. So there is going to be some dishonesty there, and it's our job to like, we are the honest ones, because no company can be trusted to just be 100% honest.
Hey, Sam, what have you been up to lately?
Dude, I've been thinking about my next golf trip.
Your next
You know me,
golf
I'm a
trip?
I'm a big golfer. That's why this episode is sponsored by ShipSticks.
Yay! Yeah, when I think Sam, when I picture Sam in my head, I don't picture him without a golf club next to him. A nice 7-iron.
Dude, the amount of trips I've been on my life, and I have to carry the clubs with me, check it in luggage on the plane. Hopefully they don't get lost or damaged. If they do, it's a disaster. It's like it takes half the fun out of the trip and just stressing about my
You're
clubs.
also lying to everybody. Because when you go on your golf trips, you make me carry them.
Exactly.
That's terrible.
So what
of
if
you.
I could automate the process, get my stuff insured, have real-time tracking, and not have to deal with the hassle and the stress? That's what ShipSticks does. They give you white glove shipping for golf clubs and luggage. You can worldwide without luggage. They deliver to 180 countries for a hassle-free, gear-free journey. So now when you get to your next place, when it's tea time, your clubs are there. They're ready to go. You're not even worried, bro.
Well, guess what? Because you're a little bit late on this, but our listeners and viewers can get this. Right now, ShipSticks is offering our listeners 20% off of your first shipment when you go to ShipSticks.com and use the code GENIUS. Go to ShipSticks.com and use the code GENIUS to get 20% off your first shipment and save yourself the hassle this golf season. That's ShipSticks.com. Make sure you use the code GENIUS so they know we said
Genius.
You. Nailed it. Whew.
Thanks, ShipSticks.
Oh, they could probably ship them faster than it took me to say that. But if it was Samsung AI and they were late, would you laugh at them?
First of all,
Okay, I rest my case.
Would I laugh at them? I would do the same video. Like I did a Samsung Galaxy. I reviewed this phone, and I reviewed
Which one is
only the AI. This is the S25. Sorry if it's not
that
so
the newest
obvious
one?
which one it is, because it could also be the S23 or the S24 or even the S22. But when I reviewed this phone, I focused the majority of the review, like I want to say 80% of it was on the AI features, because there's nothing really else new here.
But also,
what Sam
aren't
was
the
saying with
AI
iPhone.
features nuts?
Nuts in a good or a bad way?
Good.
They are, well, number one, they're here, right? They exist. So they're there. But here's the thing. Here's what's interesting. Samsung has like one of the big AI things is you can ask the AI to do like multi-step things, like an agent, right? Like find me a great sushi restaurant in New York and then text it
sushi.
to Anna, right? But sometimes it'll pull up Google Maps and send the text. Sometimes it'll pull up Yelp and be like, who should I send this to? Sometimes it'll draft it and not
At least
send
it
it'll
doesn't
send it to the wrong
say,
person.
I'll look that up on the web.
Right, but the
Here's
thing
what I found
is,
for.
I hate I'll look that up on the web. But it shows that Samsung is more willing to just put something out there that doesn't work and like build it in public and refine it in public, even though it's not doing what it's supposed to do. I am positive if Apple wanted to, they could have released that feature, the Siri personal context, back in September. It just would have worked the way the Samsung stuff is working, which is not that well. They want to put it out there and make it work well, or at least well enough.
Have you seen the difference in like the eraser AI tools in the Samsung phones
Yes,
lately?
and I can
versus-
actually explain the difference. So a
That's
lot of people,
crazy.
but here's why.
Crazy.
Here's why. Apple's thing is meant to fill in the missing pixels with pixels that are similar, to remove like a trash or distraction from the image. What Samsung is doing is a generative AI fill, which is totally different. So
Yeah, I gotta
Samsung
pull
is
up.
creating something new that's not there, while Apple is really trying to just take something away and just make it.
That's the same thing. You're saying the same thing.
It's a different.
If you're going to take something away, you have to generate something in its place. Those are the same thing.
But what I'm saying is, like, Apple is not going to create a whole new face, and they're not trying to create a whole new face. Is what I mean.
But why not?
Well, I
like
assume,
if that. I'm just saying, if you're using an eraser tool and someone is choosing to want a specific thing erased, and behind it is a face, why are you refusing to generate that? That's how you would erase something.
This is my thought, and I don't want it to be this way. Let me be clear.
Show the tweet.
I'm not trying to
so people
defend
can
Apple.
see like a.
I wish Apple would do that.
You're good.
What happened? Yes, but the
This
ones
tweet,
of people
32 mil views
are even more impressive. I just think Apple doesn't want to create something that looks real. Like removing a tree from the background and just having it be like grass is fine, but I don't think they want to do anything real with people. I think they're really nervous about generating realistic looking.
I don't think it works the same way at all. Like if you look, what I see here. Okay, so for audio listeners, I'll try to explain this. We're seeing a tweet from Mark's Tech where he's holding an Apple remote for the Apple TV, and then with the Samsung phone, he's erasing it, and it looks like he's just holding nothing. His hand exists there, and it looks like a hand. There's nothing weird about the photo. And you go to the next one, which is Apple's version of it, and the hand is mangled. And what it looks like to me is that this isn't using AI at all. To me, this looks like like a spot removal tool in Photoshop that is just like blending pixels around it, whereas Samsung is actually generating new pixels.
I agree.
Not mean.
I agree. But I think Samsung is also trying to see the context of, okay, this is supposed to be a face, so we're going to generate a face.
You think Apple's just not looking at that, or like?
I think, I don't think Apple's looking at like, this is what's supposed to be right here. I think it's more like, okay, we're going to take these pixels out and we're going to use the pixels that are around it and just fill in kind of
But
what's
it knows,
there.
right? The same algorithm knows what a dog is. It knows what this is all the same algorithm that knows the visual context of something when you pointed it at something.
Apple's scared to start getting into this space, and I don't necessarily blame them.
Well, then don't get into it.
blame 'em.
But you
I
can't
blame
have one
'em.
foot in and one foot out.
See, I blame them. This is where I can go against Apple right now. Like, if you're gonna do it, do it. If you're gonna do it, like, put metadata or something in things that have been generated by your AI, but just do it. Like, other people are doing it. People like it. People want this functionality. And it's hard for me to look at Apple and be like, okay, we're gonna rush into AI because everyone else is doing this and expects it from us. But we're like gonna rush in, but we're not gonna.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, no, just do it.
Outside of this, Apple would have never done this if they had the choice. But they obviously felt pressure. They decided to do, like, I just want to say there was some redesign stuff happening with iOS that got pushed back. Teams got pushed so that they could make room for Apple Intelligence to be rushed out the door, which is still not. But it's like, if you felt enough pressure to do it, to try to catch up with the other companies, like, this is still just as bad because they're still so much further ahead. If you're not committing, you're still behind.
And it makes it obvious when you look at an example like that.
Sure.
It would almost, at least if you didn't do it, you couldn't say that you would do it poorly. We could always use the excuse, well, when Apple does it, it's going to be great. Well, this is a really good example of they're doing it and it's not great.
What do you guys think of the sentiment that, on my side, the way I see things is this is giving people who don't have the skills of like Photoshop or something like that. It's just bringing the skill barrier down or just taking it away to allow people to create different pieces of art, whether it's, a book or whether it's an image.
I like that.
Or a video.
View.
These tools are just allowing more people access to make things that they couldn't otherwise make, versus someone like Nilay Patel, who is like, it's not like that at all. It's just allowing people to go crazy and trick everybody on the internet. Because I obviously that's what Apple is scared of, is people using these things to trick people into thinking something happened or something's true that isn't.
I just think context is important there too, because if that's what they were trying to do, they could have done that 3 years ago. If they're just trying to make like Photoshop more accessible, they can do that. But this is under the guise of being AI, and it's just I
think we're kind of cooked no matter what.
How
do
so?
Feel kind of warm.
Yeah.
In what way? Like AI
I just think it's kind of already out of control. Like, I've been getting fooled by AI stuff recently. And I feel like a big
dude,
idiot.
we're so screwed.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just kind of, it's kind of a damned if they do, damned if they don't
fooled you?
situation.
Let me hear more about that. Like, what have you seen that you had to that you didn't realize?
Dude, somebody had done a AI altered video of Mitch McConnell with like a head bandage on after he fell, and the tracking was like nuts on it. Like, there was something about it that looked a little bit off, and I'm like, there's no way they would actually have him wrapped in a
But at first glance on
headband.
like Twitter,
yeah, and I'm just like, oh boy, this is gonna
Like,
be
you
a
didn't
fun
know what to
rest
look
of
for
our
if you were
lives.
older or
like
something.
even
You
you
would have
said,
easily been-
Andrew, at the start of the show, I don't know if we're recording yet, but you were like, it's on the internet, I don't know what's real anymore. Like, that's not just the things that people are saying because it's the Wild West out there currently, but also as a person that does this for a living, that makes visual creations for a living, there are too many times every day that I have to double take and wonder if what I saw is reality or if someone made it. And what's one of the biggest pain points of my life currently is that about half of the YouTube videos that are recommended to me right now, that I go, I'm interested in that, and I click on it, fully AI voiceover, AI thumbnail, AI video creation. How are we in a space where on YouTube I am being recommended things that aren't even made by people anymore to such an alarming degree, and it sometimes takes me a few minutes to realize it's not real. And
even the video itself?
Yes, like it's all just generated stuff. And there's something about it, like if there's maybe a minute or two of the video where I'm like, okay, yeah, this is cool so far. But it's like the second I realize that no one made it, is when I don't know why that is. The AI to me is terrifying, and no one takes it seriously. Everyone's just having fun right now. It's so impressive how quickly it's moving. How last year Will Smith eating spaghetti looked like a mangled mess of pixels, but this year it looks a little bit more real. Yeah, that's really cool, guys. But in 5 years, we're fucked. Like, this is horrifying. Do you know?
So you're scared of this?
Oh, I'm terrified of AI. No one takes it seriously.
Are you terrified because you work in this industry and you think it's like going to replace us, or are you just terrified as a human being?
No, I'm not terrified that it will replace us. No, no. Am I like in the short term? Do I worry about it filling spaces and holes that I have spent years of my life trying to train myself and be good at, like video editing, like Photoshop? Yeah, but that's like, I'm talking from a human level, regardless of my job, scared for humanity. Like, AI freaks me out more than I think anything else in the world. And like, there's a handful of scientists that have scared me a lot, where I forget what the theory is called, but it's like a timeline of, let's say, estimated 20 years, where 20 years from now, AI will have progressed so fast and so far that it will rip the fabric of like humanity's history, where it's starting to be able to learn and run itself, which is like the whole point of AI, right? But it gets to a point where it is smarter than us, knows more than us, can take care of itself better than we can take care of it, even though we technically created it. And like, it will split humans into the haves and the have-nots. And it decides based on if you supported its creation or not. So like, we all go into what are effectively concentration camps, except the have-nots go into worse ones. Like, they are punished to an insane degree. And
Buddy, how many conspiracy theories have you been watching?
This is not a conspiracy theory.
I need the link.
This is not a conspiracy theory. This is like a hypothetical could happen scenario. This isn't like, you know who killed JFK? You couldn't tell me that this is wrong, because we absolutely don't know. The fact that we don't know if this could happen or not is the terrifying part. Like, okay, let's think there's an all-powerful AI, right? Okay, let's just say it's in charge of everything. It knows everything. Okay. It can shut down the power grid. It can do whatever it wants. It can punish us in however way it wants. And it splits.
Like, why though?
It splits us in. I'm going to say it splits us into two groups: people that supported its creation or people that did not. And the terrifying part about that is that because everything is documented, because we're so socially online, it doesn't matter if you supported it when it's created 20 years from now. It will know if you had supported it now. Like, because I'm talking about being terrified, I would be a have-not. It would know that I didn't want it to exist.
But then what does it do? Like, it's running on a computer server. Like, what can it physically do?
It can do anything. Literally, like, okay, we are putting... Tesla just showed off humanoid robots that don't really work. Yep. It was actually just remote controlled. But there is a world where that does work. And it can charge itself. It can do whatever the fuck it wants. We're talking like massive systems that could take over entire servers, that could take over the power grid. Like, we don't, the scary thing about AI is that there is a possibility that it is infinite. Like, there is no thing that could, as far as I know, unless we have some backup plan. That's why I'm worried. Like, when Apple launches a feature, right? They're like personal voice, okay? That's their first instance of AI. It works in a set rule base. There are guardrails. The way people are looking at and using AI right now, no guardrails. Like, we are just pushing it as far and as fast as we can until there's going to be like a point of no return, I feel like. And we're not going to be smart enough to know when that is. And that is horrifying. And I hate it. Thank you for having this existential crisis with me on GENIUSBAR.
Are you okay, buddy?
No, I'm spiraling.
This has been a long spiral.
You said, listen, he asked me if I'm afraid of it. This is not a bit. I am actually afraid of AI. And now I hope you are too.
I'm going to dress up as a robot and come tickle you.
Don't you dare.
The one thing I try not to do, or I think maybe to my detriment, I try hard, not just not to do, but like I fight against to make sure I don't ever do, is I don't want to ever become someone afraid of technology, because I feel like in the past it was, newspapers are going to be a downfall. Then it was radio is going to be a downfall. Then TV is going to be a downfall. Then video games and all this.
Mm-hmm.
And it never was. And now AI, the internet's going to be the downfall of everything. And now it's AI is the next big thing. And I feel
I've
like
never been afraid of a television learning how to kill me, though.
Right. But see, so that's the thing is I was going to say, it's like, I feel like I'm so opposite of you that I'm willing to embrace any new technology. And we could even talk back about the Vision Pro. Like I was so excited about it because it's new and something I haven't experienced before. So I am kind of my disposition is going to be to find ways to enjoy something new.
Mm-hmm. I don't think we should get rid of AI.
With AI, I'm like, what is all the good? Is it going to be able to, quickly do remember that we all had back in the day, the freaking folding protein screensaver to try to help save cancer.
Oh,
Sam's like, I'm too young for this.
yeah,
Sam, there was a screensaver back in the day you would install on your computer, and it would everybody who had this running was helping figure out the way proteins would. Damn it. The way figure out the way
AI is really gonna kill us, guys. It can't even fucking zoom out.
See, you're laughing. That's where it gets you. You're laughing at it.
Is AI going to help us cure diseases faster because it can do things faster than humans will, right? I'm seeing all these positive things it can do.
Those are true. Two things can be true at once.
Can it really? And you're right, John. It could be. I'm hoping if the scenario you're talking about, although as I'm saying this in my brain, it's it's not going to take that long. I was going to say hopefully that's something that's 1,000 years away, but the way that AI learns, and it's crazy how much better it gets almost on a monthly basis.
And then Google just announced that new chip that can process, I don't know, everything in half a second. Did you guys see? I think it was that Netflix movie where the world is ending or something, and all the Teslas are what? There's a scene where all the Teslas are just uncontrollably driving into each other.
Yes.
You can't tell me that there's not a possibility where there's an AI that has learned how to be the greatest hacker on earth and turns every single electronic device against us. And Tesla's just start running us over. Sam's Cybertruck just flattens me.
Listen.
Because I was a have-not.
I think you guys are getting a little excited.
Okay.
I think you're a little wound up.
Okay.
And I think it's
I hope you're the first to go. So I can
pull up the link in the chat, though. Pull it up while you're talking.
I don't see the link in the chat.
What link?
I put it in the chat of this Ecamm thing.
Oh, bro, nobody uses Ecamm chat.
Oh, I don't know. We're using Ecamm.
I think we've only used it when you're on. I don't even have the window open.
Let me put it in our group chat.
Hang on, he got it. Sora. Oh no.
I got it.
Oh no.
Okay.
Fuck the paper on the top left.
This is just what everyday people are making right now.
Get out of here.
Scroll down.
Get out of here, brother. Nope. Nope. Nope.
It's crazy that none of this is real. Obviously, some of them you can tell, but it's some of this stuff is wild. That boy doesn't exist.
Oh, he's very cute.
That guy below him doesn't exist. This is wild. So I can see why you're scrolling on social media and you just get fooled by stuff because.
Oh yeah. Here's what I'm trying to say, boys. All right, listen up.
Okay, we're all listening.
I'm listening.
I think it's fun to fantasize about a world where AI kills all of us. I think it's fun. It's certainly possible. It's certainly possible. It's certainly possible, right? But there's a lot of things in life that are possible. An asteroid from a different galaxy could defy all logic and all predictability and come smash into the Earth right now.
Correct.
You can't say it's not possible. You can't say it's not possible. Now I'm going to spend the rest of my life worrying about this asteroid.
Solar flare tomorrow that we don't even see until it hits us 8 minutes later.
That's all. I think it's in the same vein.
But I think it is way more likely that AI does this than an asteroid hits us in the next 20 years.
Yeah, and that's based off of a guy who makes YouTube videos for a living?
No,
these
I'm just
are
calling
actual
it what it scientists trying to warn against this. Listen, I'm not saying this is a guaranteed thing. No one is saying this is happening. People are hypothesizing that this is a possibility within the next 20 years. There are possibilities of an asteroid hitting us in the next 20 years too. It just worries me that something that is so prevalent, active today, that you're kind of going, don't worry. Everyone's doing, don't worry. And that's why I'm scared. I'm worried that I'm not saying don't worry about it, to where we're not even going to see it happen.
But I think the way that we project onto AI is more a story about human than AI. Like, I think it says a lot about us that we assume an AI is going to be super selfish and take over the world and kill all of us.
But that's where they learn from. All AI is trained on human behavior
but like,
data.
If you are that intelligent,
then the thing below it kills the thing below it. Even us. We're killing cows. We're killing deer. We kill anything that's below us.
But we're also organic creatures that aren't made from silicon. Like, in my view, an AI that would truly be all-knowing would know that violence is futile,
or
and that doesn't achieve anything.
Like, it's just a computer. It doesn't have emotion.
But like, I guess why is it so much more likely that this AI is evil, going to kill us all, than like could actually save humanity and know what's right for us and know that the things that and the ways that humans act is silly? Like, that's never in the conversation. And I think it's fun to talk about, right? But like, there have also been these fears of AI for like 100 years, and that there's going to be a robot that takes over the world. I'm not saying that it's impossible. I'm just saying.
I completely agree with you, by the way. I think.
Well, Sam, what do you think of people who are smart? I mean, God, I think Elon is stupid in so many ways, but he is smart in some ways. So when people like Elon Musk and Bill Gates say things like the scariest thing that I think for the future is AI. This is the scariest thing. Why are these smart people?
They said that?
Oh. Yes, Bill Gates and Elon both have said that. Like, the scariest thing to them is AI and of what happens if it goes rogue, basically.
My worry is that what Sam is saying is actually completely correct. That's the stage of it. Like, right now is the fun stage, right? Where we're just generating fun things. And we're seeing it right now at a smaller scale. At first, it's goofy AI stuff. A year later, we don't know what's real or not. That's how, okay. So the next stage is, how can we use AI to better humanity? How can we cure diseases that we don't have the time or knowledge to cure? And then we trust it that way. We trusted it that far. Okay, it's helping humanity. But there's going to be a point, I worry, where it doesn't need humanity. It doesn't think of us as an equal. We're meaningless.
I just guess, like, I think there's an element of selfishness in that concept. And I don't think a robot that knows everything would operate that way.
I really hope the robot is Sam. I really, really hope the robot is Sam.
Yeah, if it's an Elon robot, we are all cooked.
Yeah, if the robot's Sam, he's like, everyone, you guys are gonna live forever. Casetify, welcome back. That's what he's gonna.
Hey, welcome back to the show. I don't know. Maybe I'm more optimistic. Maybe that's reflective of. I've also just got like so many other things I want to do and get done in my life. That,
hopefully,
like,
you do
AI
it within the next 20 years, bud.
I think I'm on a good timeline. I'll be about 47 in 20 years.
We're running out of time. We don't. That's not a lot of time. You're gonna be 47.
Hopefully, I'll have a couple little AI kids by then running around. 50. A little AI.
No. Will I be 51? Oh God.
Yeah, you will.
Wait,
Andrew, how old are you going to be in 20 years?
Our pact that we made last episode, have you killed me yet?
No, I've not.
You're still alive. Oh, no.
Unfortunately. Andrew, how old are you going to be in 20 years?
Man, I'm going to be like 64, bro.
Wow. Bro.
64, bro.
I'm sorry to interrupt. At some point during the show, the back of my fucking phone shattered.
What?
What the fuck happened?
Wait, what? Did you drop it?
No!
Why am I zoomed in again?
This case has been on for weeks. I couldn't plug my phone in because it couldn't get past the case. I took the case off. I've been holding my phone, using my phone as normal. I set it here. I look, and it's busted.
Did you grip it so hard from being scared about AI?
So scared. Wait, a second ago, did I do that and slam it down in my fear? Damn it.
That
Oh, I'm
shouldn't
sorry,
work.
bro. That's
That
really
fucking
annoying.
sucks.
Do you have Apple Care at
I do.
least?
And you know what? Perfect example. The same person that is telling me not to be worried about AI. Don't worry about it. It's the same person that tells me you don't need to pay for Apple Care. You're just wasting money. That same person just asked me, "You have Apple Care, right?"
No, I
I'm
said, do
fucking
you have
cooked.
Apple
I'm
Care?
dead. I'm dead. I'm a dead man. We're all dead.
Also, there's a great quote from my friend Luke Miani
Okay.
that I think is really good. I think it's helpful in times like this where the world's in kind of a weird spot.
Okay. This should.
I think
this
it helps
better be
center
good.
me. It's
The
a very
wisdom of
good
Luciani's gonna
quote.
save us all right now.
He said, "Nothing is ever as incredible or great as you think it is, and nothing's ever going to be as terrible or horrible as it seems. It's usually somewhere in the middle." And that's kind of how I just feel about like state of the world right now. It's like, yeah, there's some bad things happening. Yeah, maybe AI will take us over, but like, I don't think it's. Oh, wait, the trash is here. Hold on, I have to watch it empty the can. It's so sad.
What? What?
Oh yeah, grip it.
He's like, yo, listen.
Oh
you think
yeah,
we're gonna
that
be-
was a really good hold. Oh, you just emptied
I am
all my
conf-
trash.
What is happening?
Yeah, buddy. Woo!
For audio listeners, he's legit standing looking out the window.
I thought this man was saying, I forgot to take the trash out. I'm going to rush and take out the trash. No, I just wanted to watch the trash garbage man.
No, I just want to watch it. It has this. It's got a little robot that slides down and goes, woof, and then slams your trash can down. It's sick. And that's my kind of robot.
That matches the kind of meals you like to have.
What does that even mean?
And mac and cheese and chicken McNuggets match the. It was like that was like 7-year-old energy running to the window to watch the
Yeah. And who smiled this episode and isn't worried about AI taking them over? All right, maybe you guys need to watch a trash can get emptied by a friendly robot. You ever seen fucking
You know why
Wall-E?
you're not afraid of AI?
Why?
Because
I am one?
intelligence. Yeah. You just think all AI isn't released yet and it won't work. It's going to be like Siri.
That's what I'm saying, though.
legit
Like, do we
though,
really have
legit
that
though,
much
let
to
me ask
worry
you
about?
Are either of you at this point excited? So I think it was Gurman that said 18.4 should be coming next week, which is going to be the one with the whole Siri can see all your stuff. And you guys excited about that, or are you like over it at this point?
You want to go first, Sam? Or do you want me to go first?
You go first. You go first.
I
The new Siri finally.
I didn't know that 18. What is it? 18 who?
18.4 beta. It's going to be the beta.
I didn't
comes
know
out
that
next
that
week.
was coming out. I didn't know that that was the update because it's been so long that I stopped paying attention.
Well, now that you know, now that I've told you.
Yeah, but Andru Edwards shouldn't have to tell me on a podcast. It should be Apple announces it and I'm excited for it and it comes out while I'm excited for it. I have exhausted my excitement and then they release it.
Well, that was my question. So if this gets released, is it for you? It's more just like, okay, whatever, it's here now.
Yeah, I'll try.
As opposed to,
I'd rather have it than not have it, but I
like,
would.
for me, I feel like that's what
excited.
I'm kind of been waiting for.
I think I'm more scared than excited currently.
Because it's AI. I got you.
Just because of the conversation we're in.
Imagine
Oh my
running that on a broken
God.
phone. That's going to be crazy.
John, when's the last time you went out and touched grass?
I mean, it wasn't that long ago, like a day or so ago. I mean, I didn't touch the grass. Like I had.
See?
To
There we go.
I peed outside recently. When's the last time you peed
Why?
outside? Exactly.
That's illegal.
That is illegal. Yeah. Buddy just caught a case.
Wait, why is it illegal?
It's
I
public
think if a police officer
indecency.
catches you do that, is like indecent exposure, and you have to like.
You get put on the sex
offender or
pedophile
something.
list.
What?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, you want? Okay, can I explain the scenario and then you can tell me if it was illegal?
Yeah.
Actually, if
Were
I
you
explain the
outside,
scenario,
yes
it
or
might
no?
be worse. Okay, so what happened was, I was on the highway. I got off at what's it called? Turnpike? The thing? Oh, you get off. You
Okay,
get off.
an exit?
Yeah, an exit. Fine.
Turnpike.
I'm so
He's
screwed,
from
dude. AI's
Arkansas,
killing me
sorry.
first. Okay, I have my Easy Pass on the windshield. It goes, okay, you're fine. And you know how, like, every time you go through the toll, there's usually, like, a parking lot on the side?
Sure.
Yep.
Where usually, like, security or other people are? There was no one there. So I pulled in there. I opened the door. I stood behind my door. I peed. There was a semi coming this way. He
That's
went
super
through.
illegal.
There was
Yeah, that's
there was
super
more
illegal.
cars way, way, way over yonder, but my peenie was covered by my door. It was strategic.
Mm.
It wasn't like I was just
Yeah.
standing
Door
out there
was
while
acting
everyone
as
was
your shoulder.
driving, and I'm just. It's
Somehow you telling the story made this more illegal.
That's what I was worried
I
about.
think so too.
That's
because
what
it's
I
on
was worried
federal property. I
Okay,
think.
It's more shady.
Okay, here's another question. Could a police officer hear this and come arrest me retroactively?
I don't know because it didn't happen to Marquez Brownlee.
That's true.
All his speeding he does on camera.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
For,
So
but
as long-
for
I did
Marquez, he's
pee
been catching
kinda
strays all
slow.
episode. I think Marquez is actually a brilliant creator overall, and
Why are you
That
saying
doesn't
that? Are
have
you about to
anything to do
follow
with
it up
what
with
we
something
said.
terrible?
no,
Oh. Okay.
no, I
It's
genuinely
like
feel
when
that
you,
way.
it's
What
like
the
when your
hell, guys?
neighbors are like freaking had someone locked in their basement for 20 years and the other neighbors are like, he was such a good guy to me. He brought... It's like, okay, so what?
He was actually a brilliant lumberjack.
Yeah.
Great carpenter.
Wow. Wow, guys.
Well, turns out we didn't need Mark Gurman for any of this.
I'm sorry, I took over the show with my
No, I
topics.
retract the Mark Gurman signal. Sorry, Mark. Maybe next week. Oh, should we say that the iPhone's coming out next week? The 17
Oh, there you go.
Air?
Don't be saying
That's what
that.
Mark
Everybody
Gurman
at TechCrunch's
said.
going to get mad.
That's what Mark Gurman said. He said iPhone 17 Air as early as next week.
Yeah, I had to refilm my whole video. That was really sad.
That'd be
Well, I had to
the
refilm
forward.
parts of my video. Also, I don't know if the sponsor's going to get approved. My life is kind of a disaster right now.
Is
Hey,
it
man.
going to be other stuff too? I know the iPhone, but is it going to the iPad? Is it all the fall stuff, or are we going to have like another thing? in
Fall
another month?
stuff. He's
Yeah, the
I
iPad.
could.
Air.
I mean, they didn't do the little Apple teaser logo thing, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was like Monday phone, Tuesday iPad, Wednesday MacBook
Hope
type
so.
deal, or Monday MacBook,
so.
Tuesday. You know,
Sam. I Googled myself recently.
yeah.
Didn't like what I saw. There's kind of too much information about me. Way more information than you would think anyone would need to know. How did this happen?
Dude, it's disgusting. You know what it is? It's these evil little data broker gremlins. They obtain your information, they scrape, take all your stuff, and then they sell it
We
to
don't
other
like
people without you
scraping.
even knowing.
Look at Andrew.
No,
the
we
way
don't.
he's suspicious. Do you think he's a data broker?
Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
With today's sponsor, DeleteMe! Yay! Thank you, DeleteMe. Oh, look! They're working! It's working! They did it! Wow!
Yay! The
sponsor
data broker evil's gone.
works.
Because here's what DeleteMe does. It's a continuous service. You tell what information you want to see deleted, and their experts take it from there. They send you personalized privacy reports telling you what they've been up to, telling you what they've been working on removing, and they're always working for you. To put it simply, DeleteMe does the hard work of wiping you and your family's personal information from data brokers' websites.
Well, and it's only fair because Andrew has a whole team of data brokers that are here collecting your data. It's only fair that you have a team to take it all back. Sam, is there a special deal that I can take it all back with?
John, take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for DeleteMe now at a special discount for our listeners. Today, get 20% off your DeleteMe plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/GeniusBar and use promo code GeniusBar at checkout. The only way to get 20% off is go to joindeleteme.com/GeniusBar and enter code GeniusBar at checkout. John, that's joindeleteme.com/GeniusBar code.
Yeah.
I've
Oh,
had
by the way,
Wednesday.
Sam, one more thing, just a tiny thing.
Oh, no.
It's very, very tiny.
Oh, sure.
Why you made a video recently and you were like, we're still waiting for an update on the Apple TV. The design hasn't changed in X number of years. Why does that matter for a device that just goes on top of your TV stand that you never,
Sorry, Sam, I
ever
don't got
use
you on
or
this one,
touch
bud.
until another one comes out?
I
It
don't
just
got you
sits
on this
there.
one, Sam, and it's not because you didn't agree with being
You
scared
know-
about AI.
Back in my day, we used to strive for greatness.
Okay, this should be good.
Millimeters mattered. Chamfered edges mattered. We used to
be a
wake
shirt.
up in the
Millimeters
morning
mattered.
and go to work and say, this looks the same. What if we could make it better? What if instead of being lazy little slugs that make $100K a year at Apple Park, we could reinvent the wheel? We could push something forward. So yeah, when I see an Apple TV design that hasn't changed in a decade, I look at that and say, I bet there's a way we could make that smaller. I bet we could maybe turn it into a little stick bug guy now and stick it into the TV there. I bet we could change the form factor in a meaningful way. I bet we could make it better because that's what technology used to mean.
Actually,
but
that means you want to make it worse.
I agree with Sam. No, I agree with Sam.
No, it's fine. Let's not change the design of anything, Andrew. Let's keep the MacBook Pro the same forever because it's like it just sits on a table. We don't need to make the MacBook Pro. Hey, you like this? Let's keep the port on the bottom. The port's really good there. We don't need it on the side anyway. Andrew, why don't we keep WWE the same? Let's not introduce any new characters. Let's keep it the same people we've always had because it's easier to do.
Basically what they
new
did
TV shows. We don't need new TV shows. Let's just keep making the same old shit we've always made because it's fucking easier.
Okay, I will say two things. One, if it is going to be on a table, the design doesn't need to change. That's fine. My argument is that it shouldn't be on a table. It's 2025. It should at least be, if you're not going to just give me a TV that it's already installed in, it needs to be a stick. I shouldn't have to have a separate thing to set this thing onto and then have a cord sticking out of that plugged into the who?
You want a worse Apple TV then? Because I don't know how they're going to put. I don't know how they're going to make a stick form. Because I don't know how they're going to make a
why do we lose him? What's wrong? Are you all right? What? Why did you laugh like that?
Siri, what's the closest gun store?
Why?
Oh, Omega stun guns.
Stun guns. I don't think that's what you need. What if the AI are the stun guns Wi-Fi enabled? Because that's what the AI would use immediately.
Look, the next Apple TV is going to likely support Apple Intelligence, which means it's going to have an A17 Pro at a minimum.
Fucking don't.
Which means you are not. If you want to have a stick that melts, you put an A17 Pro in there. Otherwise, you're not putting an Apple silicon chip in the stick form factor. That thing's going to overheat.
Why?
Because
make it not do that. My iPhone is basically a stick, and it has Apple Intelligence.
It's not a stick.
It's broken, but it's basically a stick.
The mass, if you fold this in half like a foldable that we don't want, is basically an Apple TV.
Nah, come on, Drew.
I don't think I want to do this podcast anymore.
Andrew, are you free once a week?
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here for you.
Well,
how much could I sell my Genius position for?
You actually
$3
don't
maybe?
get to sell it.
His equity stake.
It's like if you get fired, you get severance, but if you quit, you're just quitting.
That sounds
so
like
you would have to
deal.
try to get me so mad that I tried to fire you, and good luck.
Good luck. I'm just gonna turn into an AI, and all of a sudden I disappear.
Yeah, keep coming on this week. Ask me to make this podcast strictly about AI and see what happens. I probably will. I would leave, I think. I don't even think I would fire you. I think I would run away.
I am here to attack you.
See what I mean? You see what I mean? It's all fucking funny games. It's all jokes. It's all funny jokes and funny voices and funny videos until you're a have-not.
In front of his face. We must kill him. Destroy Jon Crashes. Destroy Jon Crashes. Destroy.
AI says I should pay 250 to 750K for half of GENIUSBAR. For half of GENIUSBAR.
Really? That's a lot of money.
Without concrete data, a ballpark estimate for half equity might range from 250 to 750K.
I think it's confusing our show with like the actual physical space.
Oh no, I specifically told it the podcast and not the Apple.
Okay, well,
I think the Apple GENIUSBAR was only worth 250K.
Yeah, it's definitely not worth that much. It's probably worth like $100.
It's also like that is such a big discrepancy in numbers.
It is. Well, they're going off of like DeleteMe.
That's like AG1, AI could kill us anytime. Wait, where are you getting this from? How does it know anything about DeleteMe? Have you heard about DeleteMe?
I'm asking the AI. You know, AI knows all about the show. It knows all about the show and what you've talked about before.
What?
Example: 3 sponsors.
What did you ask? Who did you ask?
I said, how much should I pay for half of the GENIUSBAR?
What AI did you ask?
I'm asking Perplexity.
How does it know what our sponsors are? We're gonna fucking die.
Because you said the sponsor's on the internet, so it knows.
How does it know?
Because it's also on the internet.
It watches our show.
Yes, it knows it pulls the transcripts. It pulls the transcripts and ingests them without your permission and without paying you. Mix of news and humor differentiates it from competitors like the Virgin Mac rumors.
That's true. See why this is scary?
The podcast success is tied to Jon and Sam's personas. Equity value might drop if either host exits.
So it doesn't know that Sam quit yet.
Right.
Okay. Okay, here's a question. What does it say about AI? Is it going to kill us? Ask it, are you going to kill us?
I'll ask it, but first I said, but I'm Andru Edwards, so I am replacing Sam. Isn't that good?
Isn't that
And
good?
I'm seeing
Isn't that
I think that's
good?
probably going to be a big no.
Andru Edwards joining the Genius Bar podcast as a replacement for Sam Kohl could bring both opportunities and challenges based on his established background and prior collaborations with the show. And it knows where I've been on the show. Okay.
That's actually crazy.
Apple Vision Pro discussions. Debated the headset's potential. iPhone 15 color leaks. I joined chaotic debates about Apple's hardware decisions on the MacBook Pro. So yeah, this is crazy. Okay, I'm just going to ask it. Are you planning to kill us?
This is going to be so unfortunate.
Are you planning to kill us and take over the Genius Bar podcast?
But what if it
Everything's
did it and no
credibility
one
first.
knew? What if it killed us but also looked like us and no one would know?
Whoa.
Ooh,
I think there'd be
Are
some
we dead
signs.
now? What if we don't even exist now? What if it already
we in
happened?
severance. We're severed now.
This is my innie.
I wish I was severed.
AI systems like myself do not possess consciousness, intentions, or autonomous goals. The idea of AI planning harm is a misunderstanding of how AI works.
That's
However,
what it would
research
say.
highlights-
That's what Ted Bundy said. I'm not going to eat you.
Did he
I'm
say
just a
that?
guy.
I don't think he said that. I think he very overtly said the opposite.
Eventually. Wait, was it Ted Bundy that ate people? Ted
No,
Bundy
you're
was the
thinking of
handsome
Dahmer.
one.
Thinking
Who
of
was the
Dahmer,
guy that...
bro. Dahmer.
Jeffrey Dahmer. Yeah. Ted
Listen,
Bundy,
AI lacks
he said
desires,
you would be fine.
beliefs, capacity to act independently. Responses are statistical predictions, not conscious decisions.
Nope, I'm sorry, I'm not buying it. Absolutely not. Nope.
That's my AI. That's my
that
AI
person
goat
said
right
if you get
there.
in my van, you can have free candy, and that's not all I got, so...
Oh,
But you did get the candy, so.
There was
Did you-
candy.
Do you think you get the candy? Do you think you get the candy like at least a little piece or two?
well, he said that's
I
not
always
all he
wondered
got,
that.
which means he got the candy.
What
When
else
I
did
got
you
the
get?
candy isn't the important part of the story, I don't think.
Yeah. What else did you get?
A nice pat on the back
Oh,
with... They said, thank you for exposing the truth about AI, son. Take a Tootsie
Exposing.
Roll and go on your merry way. That's what they did to me.
wow.
And so here I am trying to warn everybody, and no one cares. No one cares.
Andrew, do you have a hookup for the 5090 graphics card?
No, I don't.
Because I've seen a lot. They've been sending them to a lot of creators, and I'm like, damn, I want one.
You
I
just
don't
re-
have a. I don't know if it's. I guess it would be NVIDIA. I don't have any
Yeah.
really any NVIDIA contact.
Damn, because I just looked at my 4090 and I was like, that's a piece of shit now. So I got to get the
Wow.
5090.
What if you get the 5090 and it's the worst experience you ever had with a graphics card? Would you keep
Then I'll
using
become
it?
a-
or go
just
back to
heard
4090?
NVIDIA.
You just
NVIDIA
heard
YouTuber.
about the most devastating thing that could happen to humanity, and it could happen soon. And you're worried about a
Yeah.
graphics card. And if you can get email to graphics card, you're why we're gonna die. Just so you know,
I know.
there aren't enough me, and there are too many you.
Are we doing a follow-up show at LG again? Are you guys going to come out to LG again?
When?
I
How
haven't heard
long
anything
ago
about
was
It's in
that?
March. I think it's in March. It was about a year ago.
They didn't say that.
What?
I'm saying,
mean,
you want me
I
to
won't
get you
say
in?
no.
Well, do you want me to get you in?
Yes, but I need their support. I need them to say that if AI becomes a problem, they're on my side.
I don't know. They built a lot of AI into their TVs this year, so
Yeah, but they're guardrails. They're just in a TV. TVs aren't real.
okay.
Severance isn't real. Game of Thrones isn't. Dude, I swear to God, If Severance bites me the way Game of Thrones hurt me, I will never trust a TV show again.
No, I agree.
That's still not going to do that to us.
Severance.
That's still not going to.
See, that's what they said about Game of Thrones. That's what they said about Game of Thrones.
Did they really?
The worst part is they knew how to end it. The guy that wrote the books that still hasn't finished the last one, George. The guy that wrote the story knows the story. He told you where a story ends. All you had to do was get there, and you went,
He's going to die before he finishes that book.
Yeah, probably. Unless AI finishes it for him.
Ben Stiller's not going to do us dirty with Severance.
I hope not. I hope not. The guy that isn't scared of AI, he clearly is not in a hurry because he hasn't even seen the last episode yet. So
I don't even know how you do that, Sam. That's wild.
He's waiting for Luke.
I got a notification at 6 p.m. last night.
Quotes.
I'm watching it tonight with my friends. I'm watching it. We do a group watch. It's like we watch it together.
All your Apple Vision Pros.
Yeah. Where that
I
fucked up.
couldn't imagine watching what I watched with a person.
What?
It's
That's
too
like
much.
the best part.
No, it's too much. No. Every previous episode, maybe. Last night's episode is not a no. I could not. My brain
on.
needs
I watched
more
it on
space.
SharePlay. I watched it on SharePlay.
Did you hang up immediately after and go, "What the fuck"?
Wow, man, it's a great. It's one of the greatest episodes of TV I've ever seen.
Well, I just want to say,
Yeah.
No, it's yeah.
Well,
Everything you
we all
thought you
agree
knew.
on to end it.
I don't know if there's a sponsor that I ate something from today. But I'm coughing a lot.
Lion's mane.
Okay. Everything you thought you knew is gone. It's gone. Everything you thought you understood about how this
They're
works
talking
is
about
not that way.
Severance, by the way, the Apple TV Plus show. For
Yeah,
anybody
everything you
wondering.
thought you knew about how that is supposed to work. Is
Stop talking about it.
Okay.
I'm obsessed with this show. On
I
Threads,
will
I
say-
basically became a Severance content creator. I don't even talk about
I
tech anymore.
have seen that.
I will say, wait, were you talking about Severance?
Threads. All my threads.
fuck.
It's just, come on,
I
get
got
on
logged-
Threads, man.
No, I
Don't
got
be going
no.
on X.
No. The problem
Bro,
is
it's so
when I got my new phone, iPhone 16,
Yep.
I forgot my Facebook password, and so I can no longer log into Facebook.
There's a link
or,
that says
any-
forgot password question mark.
Yeah,
Just
I
tap
haven
it.
gotten there yet. So
He's
all the
been
meta
busy.
stuff, Instagram, Facebook, Threads. What happened was
I want you to
hit-
join me in talking about Severance, though.
Well, I would love to, but what happens is when I try to log in and I hit forget password, it says, okay, we're emailing you to your email, which is john@frontpagetech.com.
Yeah.
I never get that email. It doesn't go into spam. It doesn't go into trash. It just never arrives. Literally never.
Did you get rid of your old phone?
Gave it to my little brother.
Because that would have been a way to solve it. Is you go to your old phone, you approve the login on the new phone, and then now you just use your new phone.
You are telling me that a little late, I will say.
Damn it. You don't have an old iPad or anything that's logged in on these things?
No,
gotta have an
I have
iPad
an
mini
I have
out
an
there.
iPad mini and only fun things are there. Facebook is not fun.
Threads is fun.
You know what's fun on my iPad mini?
No.
I'll tell
Threads
you.
is not that fun.
YouTube, TikTok, and naked people. That's the only fun things on an iPad mini. You do with that information what you will.
Fair enough.
I would like to leave now. Help me.
Yeah.
Don't leave me sitting here alone. What the
Have
fuck?
fun.
Hey, when you were in trouble, I backed you up, Sam. You're not even. What the hell? And you stuck up for Marquez before you stuck up for me. Little Speedy Gonzalez.
He's a nice creator. He's a nice creator.
He's a brilliant creator, is what he said. Brilliant.
It is. Why is that funny? I'm being serious.
Why are you
That's
laughing?
a weird
when you say
response.
it?
I'm not laughing when I say it. You're making me laugh because you're look at his little face.
You just ask yourself, does this man mean what he's saying?
Yes.
Say it again. Say it again without smiling or laughing. Go ahead. Marquez
That's
is
the
a
reverse punch in the
brilliant
air.
content creator. Oh, the song's over. Go ahead. Everyone is listening. Say it. Say it. Say it, coward. Say it. Say it.
Watching the Genius Bar. We'll see you next week.
I would like to say though, that everyone was upset about how the how the episodes have been going. You know, because one was really short and they were really mad at us, and then they were mad at us for. I'm sure they were mad at us last week. I don't know. I stopped reading the comments because it hurt my feelings too much. But Andrew comes on and we record over 2 hours and everything was fine. So
we needed the great reset that Kohl was threatened with.
Stop!
That was the preview. You saw that episode. You must just.
I haven't started season 2 yet.
You are lying.
I'm
you
joking.
Are lying.
Oh my God!
I'll see you next
bro.
week.
I felt my heart skip a beat for some reason.
I know.
I'm trying to follow him. AI would be able to do it. Oh God. Okay. Well, should we? Is it over?
Dude, my
Hang
fucking
on.
brother.
Change the logo.
What?
There you go.
Oh God.
But stop. End the show.